And welcome back to Late Night Love. Parenting is love in its rawest form, messy, confusing, and sometimes heartbreaking. Tonight, we sit with parents who are grieving their kids' choices, worried about their kids' secrets, and trying to understand the distance that grows as children become their own people. From vaping to lying to shutting down emotionally, this segment is about the love that keeps showing up even when we're scared we're getting it wrong. That, that is one of the hard things, right, about parenting is we often forget that we're actually trying to take this little thing that cannot take care of itself,
Yes.
that's barely bigger than your hand, and take this into a fully functional human being, adult that can function on their own.
In 18 years.
I mean, in past history, the timeline was much shorter than that. But yeah, in a relatively short period of time, a quarter of their lifespan.
Yeah.
And send them off to be a functional human being.
I know. It's bizarre. But that's your job.
That's the job. And sometimes we get so caught up in raising the children, we forget that the goal is we're raising adults.
We absolutely are.
We're not raising children. In a sense, you think of them like a plant. Like you're tending your garden.
Now, there's a time for everything. I mean, your child doesn't have to be pushed. There are developmental stages along the way that,
Oh, yeah, there's
things you introduce more independence along the way. What I'm saying is, you let a 5-year-old be a 5-year-old.
Yeah, hey, you got to figure out go back to the farming metaphor. You got to figure out which kind of plant you're growing, because what you do for zucchini is vastly different than what you do for corn. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you prepare the plant, you completely different way to take care of these two types of plants. And so you as a parent had to figure out what kind of freaking plant do I have? Am I growing grapes here, or
Am I growing an introvert or an extrovert?
Yeah. There's the whole kind of
is this an athletic person? Is this bookish? Do they just tend towards the scholarly? What?
And do I make sure I give them enough opportunity, because just in case I'm wrong,
yeah,
they have the opportunity to find something themselves, and I get the opportunity to be proved wrong. You can't. You're doing a disservice if you hyper focus. Hey, this child is going to be an athlete, and hyper focus on their lives. Yeah, okay. So on occasion, you're going to pop out a LeBron James or a Williams sisters, but that's not how most of even the greatest athletes are made. They make themselves over time. Michael Jordan didn't have parents who pushed him like that. Tiger Woods did, but most of them didn't. Tom Brady, parents who supported them.
Yes. But they didn't hyper focus when they were 5 years old and put them in a little football league.
Yeah, well, maybe they put them in a football league, but they let them play baseball. They let them play basketball. They encouraged them to follow in on their studies, which is why they came out as a well-rounded human being ready to take on the world and become amongst the greatest of all time to play their respective sports positions.
Because they're well-rounded people.
Yeah, they're well-rounded people, but they were also self-motivated.
Now there's a key.
They didn't have people pushing them into something they weren't sold on themselves.
Yeah.
How many of these great athletes do we find they get their first big paycheck and now they've lost all their motivation? They become shells of the player they were literally the season before. They no longer have motivation. They've achieved their goal. Their goal wasn't to be the best ever. Their goal was to get to the NFL, get their payday, and now they've achieved everything.
That was their goal.
That was their goal.
That was the end result.
They weren't doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah. Be in the Football Hall of Fame.
No, they were doing it because it was their way it was the way for generational wealth. Yeah. And good for them. I'm not, but I have no problem with it. You got paid for the years you gave. You were technically underpaid because everybody else around you was getting overpaid.
There you go.
Yeah. So I don't have any problem with that's the way the system works. That's the way the system works.
Hey, there's something to be said with getting out while you still have your health,
Yeah. Well,
because football's brutal.
Well, it works the other way. How often it works more often the other way, right? Where players don't get paid what they theoretically deserve. So, yeah, you kind of feel bad that the one player got an oversized contract while all these other people are not getting enough.
I know.
But the system is what the system is. So if a player gets one, and players get over on occasion, good for them, I guess. I'm not gonna cry any rivers for these for these sports owners. Sports team. Oh no, the Dodgers have to eat $10 million contract. Oh my, yeah. Oh no, the horrors. It's just cry me a river. It's just, or it's kind of in the foot. It's even getting ridiculous. The Atlanta Falcons released a quarterback, and they had to eat like $40 million worth of salary or something. Just released them and ate the $40 million. Yeah, whatever. It's like it's a rounding error or something. And no, hey, the guy's fine, right? Don't feel sorry for the dude. He doesn't have to play anymore, and walks off with a big payday. Just don't feel. It's just a rounding error in how big all this has gotten these days.
Yeah.
That's all. Anyways, we've gone way off topic on this thing. Let's get us back here on topic a little bit. You can say, like, subscribe, share. You can find us at latenightLove.us, and you can send us your questions, comments, suggestions, etc. to love@latenightLove.us. And I hit those banners backwards, by the way, just because it's one of those nights. All right. We are on to our parenting questions.
Okay, now here's one I can relate to.
Okay.
Excuse me. My daughter broke up with her boyfriend, and I'm sad for him.
Yeah.
He's 17. They're both 17, and she liked him. He was a nice kid.
Yeah.
But it's not, she's in the boyfriend of the week club.
Well, your daughter isn't good enough for him. That's why she felt sad for him. So let's be honest. He's probably better off at the moment.
I know.
Yeah. What she's sad about is your daughter won't settle on some boy who's nice and will treat her good. She's off on the boyfriend of the week club because she doesn't know what she wants.
Yeah.
Which, of course, she's 17. Of course, she doesn't know what she wants. Duh. It's like, how many 17-year-olds, regardless of gender, frankly, have any idea what they want? 1%? Maybe?
I want to have fun.
Yeah.
I want a fun guy.
Even if they know what they want, it'll change next month. Or next week, in this particular case.
He wasn't serious. I want someone, he was just too fun. I want someone who's more serious.
Yeah. He was too nerdy. I want a nerdy guy. And it's going to go all over the place because whatever. And then you've got the Taylor.
And then there's the bad boy phase, which will scare you.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Or it's the Taylor Swift effect. Taylor Swift has romance problems. They have romance problems. And vice versa. So.
You're kidding me.
No, it used to be a thing. Probably not so much a thing now since she's now settled in a relationship. But when she was always bouncing through relationships and she had all those angst songs, all these young girls who followed their songs and had angst in their lives magically. Imagine that. It's nothing new. I'm not blaming Taylor Swift. This goes back to the beginning of rock and roll and whatnot. They
probably before that.
Yeah, there's not a complaint to Taylor Swift. I just
the course of Nero. I mean, come on.
For this generation, the Taylor Swift effect is a good label. That's all it is. It's got nothing to do with Taylor Swift herself. It's just she happens to be the center of a large gravity.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing with Taylor herself. There's plenty of bands that pick up their moody of their generation. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We had ours. depending upon your.
I was recently introduced to a Moody Christian band.
Yeah, see, there's something out there for everybody.
Talk about angst.
Oh, could you think of anything worse than a Christian comic?
That'd probably be freaking funny.
Well, yeah, but that'd be hard. You'd have to be. I mean, you can get good at it, I suppose.
But boy, would you ride that line.
And that line would change depending upon what church you're at. Some churches are a little more, you have to really read a room.
I just thought of Southern Baptist.
Yeah. It's the same denomination, but you can go to different churches and they can have, I don't want to say vastly different lines of what you can cross, but they're not going to be the same spot.
No.
And so one joke will work in one place and not in the other. So, okay.
All right. Just found evidence that my 11-year-old son is vaping cannabis.
Okay, that's she knows it cannabis and not one of these other things that they're vaping.
Yeah, cannabis.
Okay, just as long as she's sure about that, because they're vaping all kinds of candy stuff these days. And so, make sure it actually is
vaping candy.
Yeah, and they think it's cool. It's like us eating candy cigarettes.
Oh, okay, got it.
Not saying it's good for them, but
no, I got it.
But either was sucking on things on what?
And pretending we were smoking. Come on. Yeah, I got it.
But we're assuming this is actual cannabis. You actually have to have a discussion with this child about the long-term dangers of choices.
At 11 years old, come on. Where is he getting this? The other, he's from a friend, and
someone's friend has a mother who also drinks or something, and they pick one out of her purse every other day or something of this nature. This is how someone's getting it.
Yeah.
Generally speaking. Or there's someone lives with their grandma, and this is grandma's medicine, and they pilfer grandma's medicine every now and again.
Yeah.
It's generally speaking how these things are gotten at that age.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I'm more worried about having the long-term discussion. I had with my children. Yes, lots of people do these kinds of things without any long-term repercussions, but it's really easy to screw up your life, and you're 11. It makes life harder than it needs to be. So why do you want to make life harder than it needs to be? You just have the realistic discussion. You don't try to scare them because they're not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They see the world, so you can't protect them from that world, but you can, teach them how to analyze it. It's the only way through these things these days. You almost want to have the German attitude towards alcohol, but I don't think America's quite ready for that. So.
No.
But
no, definitely not ready for that.
But you definitely have to have the discussion, and then how far after that you want to take it is up to individuals. You might have an instinct of which friend to not let him come over anymore, but
yeah,
but he's going to have to learn how to navigate the world himself relatively soon anyway. So, yeah, these are precarious times, but make sure it's cannabis and not some goofy. She's not overreacting, and he's doing some goofy candy, flavored candy thing that is relatively popular these days.
Okay. That's a good one. I had no idea about that.
Yeah. Whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, they are, right?
Yeah, it just is.
It just is. They exist, so make sure it's actually cannabis, and you just don't see a vape pen and say,
there's cigarettes.
Yeah, and there's tobacco vape pen.
Nicotine.
Vape pen. It could very well be one of those.
Yeah, I don't know. Get to the heart of this.
But at 11 years old, my assumption is that he's got one of those candy vape pens that teenagers use, and he's trying to look cool.
Yeah.
Just my instinct on it. But it's 11. It's not out the realm of possibility that one of his friends got his hold of one of his grandmas.
Yeah.
vape pens. And it also wouldn't be surprising me if this is the first time he's got one.
And he got busted.
Because he's 11. You don't know the difference.
Yeah, he don't know.
You don't know how to hide things yet. And the odd thing is, catching him is going to teach him how. And it's the double edge of this sword. Now he's going to know to be more careful because he got busted.
I remember my sneaky days.
Yeah, it's like an arms race, right? Man. Okay.
My son is turning 17 and he's the most detached kid I've ever met. What do I even get him? He doesn't do anything but play video games. Cash. He's 17. Let him buy the game he wants.
Well, here's the thing. If you want him to get out of the house and go experience something, buy him and a couple of his friends an experience at a local VR place so they can go play a video game in a big VR room.
Ooh.
All right. Give him the experience. Costs a lot. It's going to cost a couple $100 to send him and 3 of his friends over there. Spend an extra $100 for dinner. So it's going to cost $300. But look, if you want him to get out the house and go have an experience, there you go. Have him do something like that. That way he has to get out the house if he wants his present, but he's also doing something he would like.
Yeah.
That he probably can't afford.
Yeah.
Because he's 17 and playing video games all the time. So offer him something that is unique, but also right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So that's my suggestion. Okay.
My eldest daughter is lying, stealing, and sneaking things she shouldn't. She's 5.
No way, man.
Totally is.
Like cookies?
Yeah. Candy.
No.
Yeah.
This has never happened in the history of children.
Yeah, well, she's afraid for her moral values.
Clearly. This is a sign this child is attracted to the devil. And it is time to call the priest and get some holy water and spread. No, seriously, this is a perfectly normal part of.
It is lying, stealing. I mean, absolutely. Right up there, 5. Absolutely.
Especially when you're talking about snacks and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing. I have a niece who used to, she would take she'd sneak Oreos, take the, eat the inner sides out of them, and then throw the cookie things behind the couch at my sister's house. And so every now and again, what the hell is all these cookie things doing? So you find all these cookies right everywhere. Well, half the innards eating out of cookies everywhere. And so this is perfectly normal, routine part of child development. How seriously you want to take it is
okay. You need to develop a sense of humor. I'm sorry,
because some of this is just funny part of natural development. And
it really is.
And some of this is okay. There may be a line that even for 5-year-olds they're crossing, but I have a suspicion this is just a mother who's got it in her head that everything is supposed to go perfectly. And why is this child?
She wants this sweet angel little girl that she had pictured in her mind.
Oh, see, you ruined it. See, if you picture a chaotic little girl in your mind, then you're gonna get the sweet little one. You pictured a sweet little girl in your mind, and life goes ha, and you get the chaotic little one. But truth be told, all children are chaotic. She's just chaotic in wanting her sweets. There's a number of ways to handle this. You could lock these things away. I'm sure you've explained to her all the, tell you the blue in the face that she's not allowed to take these things. So that's, at this stage, she doesn't care. I suppose you could go some form of punishment route. Won't work, but you could try it. But yeah, my solution to all these things is you stop buying them the stuff they like to steal.
Ooh.
If it's not in the house, they can't take it. And they ask, hey, can I have cookies? No, because you keep stealing them. You don't have to punish anybody this way. It is a punishment, but it's not.
You don't get any cookies. But,
No one's getting cookies. Why?
Yeah.
Because you stole.
Because you're stealing.
Because you take them. Yeah. Which sometimes is better off because now you're having less sweets and stuff in the house. And then you add it back later on when you get the point.
Yeah.
Just one day you start buying their stuff again. But they generally get the point. So you can punish them without punishing them. Because it's not really a punishment to stop buying things.
No. Yeah.
To replace fruit roll-ups with fruit.
With an apple.
Yeah. You don't get fruit roll-ups anymore. Now you get an apple. I don't like apples. Sounds like a personal problem. Kids hated that one. I don't want an apple. Sounds like a personal problem. I don't seem to be bothered by that. I just okay.
Thanks for the info.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I think hated that one. Okay.
Okay. Would you let your teen daughter still be friends with someone after a physical fight? Okay. Both these girls are 14. They're best friends. And they just one day they just got into it and they ended up rolling around on the floor.
Okay, well, if you did this to boys, you wouldn't have any friends. So remember, I raised boys, right? And this is just part of, boys' friendships, right? You test each other's lines, you find out where it is. But you're also your best friend's the one who teaches you where social lines are. This is how these things work. Right, for boys. I didn't raise girls. I don't really know how girls' relationships work.
You raised one.
I don't know how girls' relationships work. I did not raise a normal girl.
I came in when she was 10.
Yes.
I tried.
The ship had sailed. What are you talking about? She had 3 older brothers. She was lost. And me. Yeah, she had 3 older brothers and me. It was lost. Let's be honest. So.
Well, she did end up going to a few dances. So, I consider it a victory.
I'll take what we can get. But so I don't know necessarily about girls, but I do know for boys that this is just part of, relationships boys have. Oftentimes you end up with better friends because you learn how to, navigate these type of difficulties. You learn how to talk it out. Yeah. Sorry, man, I was being stupid. Yeah, I know. That punch hurt. Yeah, I know. So did that one. You do. You go over that. It's fine. And as long as they know how to do that part of it, my suggestion is to stay out of it.
Yeah, I would too, hun.
Yeah, if it's a routine thing,
then there's something else. But if this is a one-off,
yeah,
then it's not that worrisome.
And here's the thing, it's probably over something stupid. I will almost guarantee you.
Oh yeah.
They're probably embarrassed about it. I would suggest,
yeah. I think so.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, it might be something really dumb. Now, just out of pure curiosity, I want to know what it was about. Just because I'm curious.
She didn't say.
Yeah, but I just want to know. Now I'm curious.
I know.
It's probably over a boy. Right? What else do 14-year-old girls fight over? I can't think of anything else. But then again, I don't have much experience with 14-year-old. Right?
Well, you get called a bitch, then them's fighting words.
Well, I'm trying to think
at 14. Now you turn 21 and you're like, that's all you got?
Trying to think of what your daughter would fight with her friends over.
I'll pick on one of her friends.
Yeah.
Pick on one of her other friends. Oh God, with Victoria. What would it take? I don't know.
Yeah, well, she had other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't last.
Yeah. So anyway, it's not a big deal. As long as it's not a big deal. That's don't make a mountain out of a molehill. These things happen at 14 years old. For boys, it's relatively routine. Boys wouldn't have any friends left if you made them stop hanging out with them. So don't navigate the relationship, but you may want to make sure that they actually work through it properly.
Yes. Sitting down for a talk.
Yeah, you don't even have to sit down for a talk. One of these days when you're sitting in alone, not with the rest of your family, just you and your daughter in like the kitchen or something, having a snack. Hey, so what was that whole ruckus with you and what's her name was about?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, Mom, it was stupid, right? I'll guarantee you the response is going to start with, Mom, it was stupid. I will almost guarantee it. So take that for what you will. All right.
Okay, now this is just shocking.
Okay.
My 12-year-old has taken to spending most of her time in her room. She gets sullen when she has to go with us somewhere, and she doesn't want to go. Her dad, my husband, takes this personally. How can I help my family communicate better and or establish some better norms?
What?
Shocking.
No way.
She's 12, and she wants to be home in her room alone. Thank you very much.
She's 12, so she's essentially a teenager, right?
Yeah.
So you got a teenager who is sullen and doesn't want to go anywhere with their parents because their parents are embarrassing.
Hello.
And she's got so much better things to do. And
like her friends online. Hello.
Or not even that she might want to. Reading a book is more interesting than you, quite frankly, as a parent.
It was for me.
So,
I would go with my family and sit and read in a corner.
Okay, now here's the thing. This is what you need to actually have your husband tell your husband to come listen to this, because here's the advice for your husband, which is the real problem here. Is if your husband wants to reconnect and have spend time with his daughter, which is what he wants, right? He probably, for the first time in his life, he probably has time to engage with his daughter. She's old enough at a point where they can interact, they can understand, because a lot of men have trouble with young kids. They just don't understand them, right? So until they get older is when men step into the role, and at this point he's ready to step into that fatherly role, and she has shut the door on him, but he hasn't opened it properly. See, at this stage, if you want this door to open, you have to give her the opportunities that she needs. Does she want to go somewhere? You take her. She wants to go shopping, you're the one who takes her, not her mother. You're going to have to inconvenience yourself for her good before she's going to come back and reconnect with you, and you want her to do it for you. This is just how teenage girls operate. This is the one thing I did learn about teenage girls. Right? You give them opportunities on their time frame, and they open up to you. Because you're not expecting anything from them. You're helping them. And you get to see those moments. It's actually better this way because you get to see what they like. You get to see them when they're in what they're interested in. You get to see them at their best, not when they're drudging around being bored because they're going to a train convention that you find interesting. And it may very well be interesting, even for people who are interested in trains. But she's 13. She's not going to be interested in it.
Yeah.
So take her to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I got 2 tickets. I want to go to Comic-Con. She says, why do you want to go to Comic-Con? I don't know. It looks like fun. I'm feeling old, so I want to go to something youthful. And have her take you to Comic-Con. Something she's more interested in.
Yeah.
Start there. And she'll see right through it. She's going to know that you're doing this for no other reason than...
She'll know.
Yeah, she'll know. And she's going to ask you. Your answer is yes, I am.
Yeah.
It saddens me.
I'd like to be with you.
It saddens me that we don't have a better relationship. That's my responsibility. So I'm trying to do my part to fix it.
There you go.
Because guess what? You, as a dad, it is your responsibility to fix things. It's your responsibility to build things.
You're the dad.
It's your responsibility to protect things. And, sometimes that means you're the one who's got to eat the crap sandwich. Yeah, you eat a lot of them as dad. And sometimes it gets tiring. And sometimes it doesn't feel like, your children appreciate you, but you've got to see the world from their side. Re-engage with them.
I got news. When your child turns 25, you both will get really smart. And they'll come to you for advice. And what do I do next? And I can't do this. Okay. So it all comes around.
It does. It comes around. If you're a half decent parent, it comes around.
It comes around.
Yeah. Oh, now that I'm a parent, Dad, I understand where you're coming from on a lot of these things. Yeah, it's all
Wait
good.
for it. Wait for it.
It happens.
Wait for it.
Oh, now
Because
I get it.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, now I get it. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't need you to get it as a teenager. It was fine. I didn't expect you to. So maybe change your expectations a little bit as well. But
I got one that comes to me. I'm sorry. I ran you all over Roseville, and I used you for a ride. Through the age of 13 to 16. Yeah, I know.
yeah, but you know why you do it? Because you don't have this. You guys have been connected your entire lives because you did those things for her.
Yes,
So the same thing. This father is going to have to do those things,
and it pays off big time.
right? It just is.
It does.
But my suggestion, if you want to jumpstart it, find something she likes, Comic-Con, a concert that even take her to a Taylor Swift's expensive. Take her to a Taylor Swift tribute band or something. I don't know. She might not like Taylor Swift, but find something she's genuinely interested in. She's in there playing video games. Comic-Con is usually a good place to do those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
Take her down to the local used video game store and buy some new game for her old console because those things are coming back, retro things.
Ooh.
Or, hey, here's one. If you played video games in your youth, go buy yourself an old retro game setup and ask her to help.
There you go.
What games she might like to play.
Yeah.
So you can get some. So there's opportunities here. You just have to be creative to re-engage. And it's important that you do, because the last thing you want is a teenager that doesn't know her father loves her.
Trust me.
I heard a story about a Marine who learned he was going to have a daughter for the first time. And so he went and asked his biggest, shall we say, man whore that he knew in the Marines. How do I protect my girls from people like you? It says, make sure she knows she loves you. Make sure she knows you love her.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to do. People like me aren't attractive if she knows
that she has unconditional love.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah. If she knows her father loves her, then people like me aren't attractive. So this is when you want to make sure you've got that embedded deep.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay, here's the last one. Kids constantly asking for candy. How do you handle it without being the mean parent?
Say no isn't being mean.
But she's losing her temper.
Who, the child?
No, the mom.
Well, don't lose your temper. Just say no.
Get a handle on it.
Yeah. It's saying no is not mean. Losing your temper because the child is being a child, it's understandable at the end of the day to reach your kind of, be tired of having to say no, be tired of hearing the same things and all of that. So maybe say yes on a little bit more often, just not a lot. Once or twice, toss them a few more snacks. Maybe they're actually sending you a sign that you're not actually giving them enough snacks. A little overly serious about their diet, maybe. It's not an impossibility. But also understand that saying no, nice, calm, respectful no, is actually the best thing for them in the long run. And you being nice to them in the short term is not necessarily the best thing for them in the long term.
Here's a nice one. Not right now.
Or the other option is don't have candy in your house, and therefore they can't ask for it because you don't have it.
We don't have candy. Yeah.
If you're going to be strict with their candy usage, then the best option for that is to not have it in the house. You can't ask for something that's not there.
Remember that one person that put a little door, a frame with a little door, and they would put candy in there for their child. So their candy would go look behind the door and see if there's candy. Sometimes there was, sometimes there wasn't, but it kept them from asking for candy.
Did it though? I'm suspicious that prevented them from getting candy. Prevented them from asking for candy is no.
But he was very upset that the candy fairy wasn't real when he found out.
Yeah. But, such is life.
Santa Claus is next, yeah.
He's going to put together the tooth fairy and all the world is ended.
Oh, no, y'all are liars. You lied to me.
Yes, we lied to you about the tooth fairy. I'm kind of sad that you believed it until you were 8, but okay.
Or you could have a child that, is 30 years old and still believes in fairies. So,
Man, I don't disbelieve in anything yet.
But I don't help. I sent her Faye furniture to put out in the Faye garden outside.
Mm-hmm.
What was her birthday? It was Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys try to make moon water as well. So I'm not.
No, I gave that up.
Okay. All right. You are not failing. You are parenting in real time with real emotions and real stakes. The fact that you are trying, really trying, means far more than you think it does.
Yeah.
So from me and Lubby, have a good night. And please remember to love everybody.